that's because people are not buying the extreme agenda pushed by the Democrat Party. So
that is Florida Republican Party Chair Christian Ziegler. He is married to Sarasota School Board member Bridget Ziegler, a founder of the conservative group Moms for Liberty.
Who's ready to take back their school boards so that we get rid of the woke and start serving our families?
But the Zieglers, who claim to stand for family values and are close with Governor Ron DeSantis, have a problem. Headline: Florida GOP Chair Christian Ziegler, husband of Moms for Liberty co-founder, accused of sexual battery by alleged menage a trois lover. Quote, Christian Ziegler, Florida's GOP chairman and husband of Sarasota County School Board member and Moms of Liberty co-founder Bridget Ziegler, is under criminal investigation after a woman filed a complaint with the Sarasota Police Department alleging the longtime Republican official had raped her, according to a heavily redacted police report obtained by the Florida Trident. The woman, according to sources close to the investigation, alleged that she and both Zieglers had been involved in a long-standing consensual three-way sexual relationship prior to the incident. The incident under investigation by Sarasota police occurred when Christian Ziegler and the woman were alone at the woman's house without Bridget Ziegler present, the sources conveyed. In other words, when the Florida Republican Party chair was not having a three-way and met alone with the woman who was not his wife, the Republican leader allegedly raped her. Never mind if the rape accusation is true, the apparent lifestyle of the Zieglers goes against their advocacy of traditional conservative family values and undercuts their condemnation of Democrats.
the fact that the Democrat Party has become so extreme that people are looking at it and saying, look, this is not the Democrat Party of JFK. This is not the Democrat Party that my grandparents were Democrats in. And that's what we're seeing on the ground. I'm just telling you, and we have receipts.
Speaking of receipts, according to a police report against Christian Ziegler, quote, the complaint was filed on October 4th and the alleged sexual battery occurred inside the woman's home in Sarasota, according to the report. Among the few words that went unredacted in the report are the words rape and sexual battery. Sources also corroborated that a search warrant was executed on Christian Ziegler's cell phone and that investigators continue to conduct a forensic examination of the electronic device. Christian Ziegler is also alleged to have secretly videotaped the sexual encounters between the couple and the woman, sources said. But according to Ziegler, Democrats are the party of sexual extremism.
And the radical agenda the Democrats are pushing, I mean, they're openly calling for the indoctrination, sexualization, and if that's not enough, mutilation of children. And that's like a big part of their platform down here. They're going head to head with our governor on this culture battle.
Mutilation of children is actually not part of any Democratic Party agenda. However, the emotional mutilation of children is clearly what the Zieglers stand for. One imagines the Zieglers' menage a trois will do far more psychological damage to their kids than any library book ever could to anybody else's. Oh, and speaking of banning sexual content in school libraries, the effort to restrict some books is a key part of Moms for Liberty.
Our governor has done a remarkable job of boldly standing up against the woke media. He's fired and made sure that he's ensured that the education of our children and the instruction is focused on the actual curriculum of reading, writing, and arithmetic and not gender ideology.
Let's be clear, putting aside the rape accusation, which will be settled in a court of law, whatever sexual orientation or sexual lifestyle the Zieglers want to engage in is fine. We should all defend their freedom to choose what works for them. And if they're engaging in a menage a trois or anything else, it doesn't affect or threaten me. Unfortunately, the Zieglers and Republicans like them have not offered the same respect to others. Under the guise of Christianity and conservative family values, Republicans in Florida have tried to take away LGBTQ+ rights, demeaned Democrats for supporting sexual freedom, and even taken away a woman's reproductive rights. In April of 2023, the Republican legislature passed a law signed by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis that bans abortions after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The law will take effect if the state's current 15-week ban is upheld in an ongoing legal challenge before the state Supreme Court. And that court, by the way, is dominated by conservatives. On top of all of this, the conservative group Moms for Liberty has explicitly tried to ban books from public libraries that describe sex or examine sexuality or go against Christian values. According to Bridget Ziegler, people who want to leave the books alone and not ban books are woke. Well, it turns out that the Zieglers, a school board member in Sarasota and the state Republican Party chair, have been engaged in an extramarital relationship that countless conservatives condemn. Think of the children, say the conservatives. Of course, when you are a conservative, there's no need to think of your own children or put limits on your own behavior. It's just other people's children and lives that should be blocked. There are countless examples of prominent conservatives and family value Republicans saying one thing in public and doing something else in their own life. Remember this?
On Friday, Boebert apologized for her own behavior, coming at a recent performance of the family-friendly musical Beetlejuice, a showing in Denver.
Well, that's a nice show.
That's a great, great.
That's very family
For the
friendly.
kids, but
It's for the kids.
Flash,
a lot of kids
flash
there.
cards. She's worried about flash
She's
cards.
worried about flashcards.
Okay.
And let's also, as we're looking here at footage, let's give credit to the quality of the
children.
night vision cameras at this theater in Denver, Colorado. Extraordinarily clear. Because the 36-year-old Congresswoman first denied reports that she had been vaping during the performance, but you'll see in a moment, she was. According to the Denver Post, a pregnant woman seated behind her asked her to stop
Taking flash pictures.
vaping, as well as she and her companion explicitly groping each other repeatedly while they were in their seats.
Or how about this?
Revealing allegations that controversial QAnon Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene openly cheated on her husband of 25 years with a polyamorous tantric sex guru, and then had another affair with the manager at her gym.
Or even this.
This dude is crippled with guilt because he watched transgender porn and then had, he's about to disclose what happened next.
You know, and as it gradually goes, it gets darker. And I was watching transgenders having sex with like transgenders and then dudes. And I'm like, why am I watching this stuff? Eventually, the porn's not going to be enough. Just like Ted Bundy, eventually the porn wasn't enough for Ted Bundy. And he started actually doing the acts, and I started doing the acts. Never, ever thought I'd be doing something like that. You know what I'm saying?
The hypocrisy of conservatives never seems to end, and it is so predictable. The people who often complain the loudest about LGBTQ plus lifestyles or sexual freedom are often engaged in self-loathing. They hate their own desires and sexual impulses, so they overcompensate by attacking other people's sexuality. And the attacks are cloaked in Christianity and conservative family values. Someday there will be a Republican Party that just acknowledges reality. There is nothing wrong or immoral with sexuality, and no relationship or sexual identity is better or worse than any other. But until the GOP can be honest, Republican leaders like the Zieglers of Florida will remind us that in the GOP, family values are just empty buzzwords, and conservatism stands for whatever a man wants, perhaps including rape. By the way, Georgia Republican Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has repeatedly assaulted reality, recently got humiliated by a fellow Republican on the House floor.
Ms. Greene is tainting this serious impeachment inquiry with a shoot-from-the-hip stunt that is reckless, partisan, and manifestly unserious.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.